44 years. That's how long it took North Korea to claw its way back to the grandest stage in world football. The FIFA World Cup, a nation cloaked in secrecy, now standing under the global spotlight, ready to prove themselves. But what was supposed to be a story of redemption turned into an absolute nightmare. A historic, soul-crushing demolition by Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal. The year was 2010. The place, Cape Town, South Africa. 63,000 fans filled the stadium with electrifying energy as North Korea stepped onto the pitch for their group stage clash. And the group they landed in? A true nightmare. Brazil, Ivory Coast, Portugal, and themselves. The so-called Group of Death. And for North Korea, that title would prove chillingly accurate. From the very first whistle, Portugal showed no mercy. The tempo was brutal. Within minutes, Cristiano Ronaldo was already in full attack mode, getting tackled twice but popping back up like nothing had happened. It was like watching an elite player schooling a kid on FIFA, except this was real life. Portugal's attack came fast and furious. Ronaldo, Carvalho, Thiago, they were relentless. In the 7th minute, Ricardo Carvalho rose for a header inside the box. Boom! Off the post. The Korean keeper barely knew what hit him. And then, out of nowhere, North Korea responded. One clean pass, one sudden spark of aggression, and a long-range shot that actually forced Portugal's keeper into action. For a brief moment, the crowd gasped. Were North Korea about to make this a real fight? But the illusion didn't last long. Ronaldo, now toying with defenders, started pulling off tricks like he was back on the streets of Madeira. Flicks, feints, back heels, all while wearing that signature smirk. But the real breakthrough came in the 28th minute. A perfectly timed run by Raul Meireles split the Korean defense in half. He took one touch, kept his cool, and buried it into the bottom corner. Portugal 1, North Korea 0. The Portuguese bench erupted, and while the scoreboard only read 1-0, the writing was on the wall. Portugal had unlocked the door, and the flood was coming. By the 34th minute, Portugal nearly doubled the lead off a defensive error, but the keeper made a desperate save. North Korea survived barely and held on until halftime, but you could see it. In their faces, in their movement, the fight was draining out of them. Halftime. 1-0. But trust me, the massacre was just beginning. The second half kicked off like a different game. Portugal came out hunting. Ronaldo flipped the switch from entertainer to executioner. He started pressing harder, sprinting faster, and hitting those pinpoint passes only he could pull off. Then came the second goal. A brilliant combination play. Miguel slid it across, Meireles tapped it back, and Simo made no mistake. Portugal 2, North Korea 0. You could feel it in the stadium. The air shifted. Something ugly was about to unfold. And then, it did. In the 59th minute, Thiago launched a scorcher from just outside the box. Goal number 3. Portugal were rolling. Just 2 minutes later, Hugo Almeida got on the end of a cross and made it 4. It was total domination. The Korean defense couldn't even get organized before Portugal struck again. 5 minutes later, bang, goal 5. It was surgical. North Korea weren't just losing, they were collapsing. And still, Cristiano hadn't scored. You could see the hunger in his eyes. He launched a cannon in the 70th minute that narrowly missed. He hit another just 2 minutes later that forced a full-stretch save from the keeper. But Ronaldo wasn't leaving empty-handed. In the 86th minute, the ball ricocheted wildly inside the Korean box. It bounced off defenders, off boots, maybe even the wind got involved. And suddenly, there was Ronaldo. The ball popped off his back, rolled over his shoulder, and dropped perfectly in front of him. He tapped it in with the calmness of a man playing in his backyard. Portugal 6, North Korea 0. Ronaldo looked confused and amused. Was it luck? Was it skill? Who cares? It counted. The stadium exploded, but the massacre wasn't done just yet. 2 minutes later, Thiago, already with 1 goal to his name, smashed in another to make it 7. Portugal 7, North Korea 0. The final whistle couldn't come fast enough for the Korean side. What started as a gritty, hopeful contest had transformed into a bloodbath. And for Portugal, this wasn't just a win, it was a message. They had arrived, and with Ronaldo leading the charge, they weren't just playing for points, they were playing for fear. That match will forever be remembered, not just for the goals, but for the humiliation, the domination, and that wild, clumsy, unforgettable Ronaldo goal. A performance for the ages. Like and subscribe